stuck here. The cops won't bother me. Well, squids, I am about to take this Buddy 125 to work. First time ever, so kind of nasty out. Really surprises me this thing does not have a trip meter of any kind. It's so odd not to have a trip meter. We're gonna hop on the highway. I notice she's still stumbling a bit. Gotta be careful making a left here. Very slick stuff. Getting on the highway. Okay, it's riding pretty well. Remember, 50 it started stumbling, but I think that's just the rev limiter. Hey, a scooter, a Vespa. I haven't seen traffic here in a while. Seeing traffic now post-COVID is kind of alien. So I think that's a good fair comparison, is that a 125cc genuine, and I can't say for Kymco, but definitely for Chinese bikes, it's kind of like the equivalent of an 80cc Japanese bike from the 80s. It just feels underpowered. It feels like the build is not great. But that's the thing. The build of Japanese bikes is great. So very difficult to put it into words. But definitely this 125cc does not feel powerful. It doesn't feel as fast as it should be. Especially dangerous here, because this is where the Beltway crosses Route 29 in north of Silver Spring, and there's usually people crossing in, you know, darting into the ramp. Oh man, it's so bumpy. This bike on these construction type of roads, this is the Silver Spring too, this is just so bumpy. I don't know if you can tell, but it feels like I'm going off-road on it. Oh man, it shakes the bike all over the place. Jesus. This is the type of bike you need to have both hands on the handlebars at every single opportunity. Alright, now we're getting into DC. So, by the way, I'm freezing. My hands are freezing. I wasn't expecting my hands to freeze, but yeah. Sure, I got a few holes in my gloves, but I don't know, I think it's like 50 something degrees. I'm not used to this. Is this guy turning left? What's going on? Okay. You got to put your hands on both brakes and pay attention to the blinkers of the guys in front of you. This bike's turn signals are really loud. Hey, but you know, I made it to DC, downtown DC, in just a very short amount of time. That cop must live there. Go ahead, buddy. Oh, there's a lot of cars going that way. Alright, with the leaves here and everything, you have to definitely be very worried about that. I had that cop behind me for a while. I was like, man, I hope he's not pulling me over. I'm always so paranoid. This is Massachusetts Ave. This is where my embassy is. Arrived at my destination. There we go. So much smaller. Can't even use my kickstand. Right there. Physically, it's a lot smaller in this little space than the SH150. I kind of like that. Aren't set up outside here at Buddy Bully Bar. it's easier to do this. Stumbling again. I think it's running too rich. I think it's running worlds better, but still feels like it needs a lot of work. It's a lot chillier here in DC today. Hey, yellow, look at that. I still have enough power to get through these lights. Like looking at a computer all day, you know. Boom. Yeah, I think this bike, surprisingly, you get a really good bike for the money. So I've heard these bikes get a lot of miles without much work, but the carburetor is a GY6 carb, and that's kind of a problem. But you know, I'm not a big fan of carbs. I know that the new buddies, I think they're the 170s, they are fuel injected, and that's ideal. It's definitely ideal to have a fuel injected bike, especially if you ride year round. You know, you don't want to kind of deal with carburetors. I can't wait all day for that guy to figure, hey, stop, douche. Man, I thought that guy was going to be making a U-turn right in front of me. You know, that's the thing, you never know. You just never know what the hell these people are doing. That's why riding in the city is exciting. You just never know what the hell these people want to do to kill you. I have a first world problem, guys. I don't know, should I bring my SH150 tomorrow, or should I ride my buddy? I think I'll ride my buddy, my little buddy. Little buddy. Okay, what the hell? Pizzagate is over here, guys. Oh, I guess I'm going straight. Look at these awesome houses, man. These, you know, these houses, they're not like mansions, but the location where they're at, they might as well be mansions, because this area is just so unbelievably expensive. And it's so expensive that if an old house, you know, I'll point out some old houses here, like that old brick house, for example. If that house went on the market and it was selling for like 2 million, yeah, maybe like 1.8 or whatever, they would tear it down and rebuild another house. That's how expensive the land here is. The land is more valuable than the house. And of course, who wouldn't want to be next to like Supreme Court justices like Kavanaugh? So oftentimes when you ride around these areas, you'll see like just two big Chevy Suburbans hanging out outside of a house, and that's the Secret Service. They protect these guys, which is kind of funny. But I mean, I guess it makes sense. You don't want to. They should just live in the Watergate Hotel. I mean, that's well protected. I just saw a sign for clearly Biden, and then it was like half blue, half red, and then any functioning adult. At first I thought, oh, there's somebody named adult here, but on top it said any functioning adult, which is kind of clever. There was a article in the news that DC went down from being the 19th best place to live to the 30th. And you know, normally these articles are a bunch of like fluff pieces, but I kind of agree. You see like the rose is off the bloom is off the rose. So expensive, you don't get much out of it. Everybody's angry. Now there's like riots everywhere. Oh, excuse me, protests. You know, people going up to you in a restaurant while you're eating and screaming at you. Hey, what was that? I think that's a genuine too. That might be the Rough House. I am worried that my bikes, my scooters are gonna get stolen when I'm working. DuPont is fine, but people do steal stuff from everywhere. Just in DC, this last 2 days, we've had like 3 murders. I think more than that. Like, it's been in the news that this is like a weird killing time. Crime is spiked. Crime is already like at an all-time high in a very long time. I forgot the stats, but definitely in the last few days there's been like 3 murders that I can think of, and that's always a problem. Jesus. Even in this area right here, White Oak, there was a guy that got held up at gunpoint or robbed at gunpoint. And I believe there was like two armed robberies, like car armed robberies. So it's kind of crazy. Well, construction. No, they're doing something here. Shit. What the hell? What the hell are they doing here? This is my spot. Around here, the roads are in much better shape than out in the burbs. Alright, Squids, that's the first commute on the Buddy 125. I'll keep you guys in check to make sure that this Genuine is a good buy or not. So, I'll see you in the next video.
Of potassium, other Central Asian countries have inferior potassium.